Welcome to the OTech Talks podcast, where it's all about working on technologies. You will hear the latest tech information, and your host, Kashif Manzoor, brings together product overviews, how-tos, best practices, tips and tricks, and troubleshooting techniques.
Welcome to the Open Tech Talks podcast. This session is number 106. And I'm your host, Kashif Manzoor, is with you. If you're new to the show, Open Tech Talks is your weekly sandbox for technology insights, experimentation, and inspiration with the primary objective of learning and sharing. The session number 105 we had back in August 2022. And before I will share with you the reason for such a gap, let me get you on board for the objective of today's session. I'm going to share about higher degrees during a professional career, why working professionals need to go for formal degree programs, or what are the benefits, and what's happening in the market, and as my personal story, how I decided to go for MSc in artificial intelligence while working full time. So at the end, you will get different school of thoughts, opinion, and your way forward if you're looking for any higher degree during your professional life. It could be MBA, executive MBAs, or it could be any technical degree, or it could be any other degree which you prefer. Now, before I start the journey of my MSc, now let me share with you between August and in September 2022, I had completed my 2 years of coursework, and then there was an option to go for dissertation, which was for 3 months, 6 months, or 12 years. So I opted for 6 months. So from September 2022 till March, I was doing my final MSc dissertation. And as being the course in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science, I had to spend a lot of time to work on the dissertation, and it literally took me a lot of time. And my field was I worked in a healthcare sector. I found a data set publicly available on the maternal and infant health, and I worked on that data set extensively. It took me 6 months. So based on that, I submitted my report, and I'm waiting for the results. Now let's go back to our objective of today's session. Now, definitely, let's go into to areas that why we need to study during the professional life, or even if it's required. It's like a journey of a working professional who want to pursue a degree in any field. And as we know, in today's rapidly evolving corporate landscape, everyone has to update the learning and upskilling. That's very crucial for the career development. And all the corporate companies offer a lot of career related technical or non-technical or personal development trainings. And I think we all should all go for it, and this is what's happening. Now, eventually, there is a debate between, should we go with a formal degree versus a hands-on experience, and that's a common. There are two school of thoughts that they prefer that we don't need a formal degree, and then you need to just go ahead and do a hands-on work, even if you're working, for example, in technology, or even if you're doing some projects. So you go and spend time on that project, and that will give you the required skills. For example, even if you're a developer, or even if you're managerial role, all these leads to it that you practice it in your organization, and then you don't need a degree. So there is a very old way of discussing this one, and that's why I said there are two school of thoughts, and that's more maybe a literary discussion. So I'm not going into that direction. So for me was also an option that, okay, what should I do? It's like choosing the right path, either of making a decision to get an higher education. It is a complex with common consideration. If you see your peer groups, usually you see there are a lot of my colleagues, and they were going in MBA programs, executive programs with somewhat quite famous education universities or degrees. And the same way I was also inclined towards that okay, I should also go with some executive MBA. And this dilemma often feels like a roller coaster ride. You need to spend a more much required thought and time on it, and I was also going through the same thought of discussion or the points in my mind. Now my journey towards earning an MSc in AI started in late 2019, before the COVID-19 pandemic. And as at that time the popularity of emerging technologies was at high, and then I started doing some online courses like platforms, edX.org or Coursera or even LinkedIn. And while these courses provided value information and what I want to do at that time to help me my job, and it even give me a latest information on those topics. And but I have seen a lot of the way how you treat yourself, that I'm a guy who want to learn in a very structured way, that any topic I want to go back to the book or a detailed article and then spend time and then come back and then do some stuff on hands-on. That's my personality. Maybe your personality is different. Then you want to do with the hands-on, then you want to go back to theory. So and also my lot of friends were also colleagues, they were doing it, and I want to mention it here that one of my friend and brother, Zafar Imran, he pushed me a lot for this course. And so my idea with going with MBA or tech focused degrees, I thought at that time, I had a numerous discussion with friends, colleagues and former managers. And however, I thought that, okay, my aspirations need to align with what I'm looking forward in my career. And that's how I decided it. So I put it in like a two-step progression journey. First, it to pursue a latest technical degree, which was like data science or MSc or in AI. And then I will supplement with the management courses with all these global names which they offer it. So that's how, because I was doing a lot of work on emerging technologies with blockchain and AI as part of my professional life. So that gave me more interest towards data science and AI degree programs. And then, it was another question, okay, where to enroll back in 2022, 2020, basically not 2022, 2020. There were very few options than there are today. And nowadays, I think you can see a number of universities are offering these programs. And selecting the university is one of the challenging program. And I applied to a few universities in USA. And then due to some time zone, and then at that time there were some restrictions on the communication channels. So they told me and that you need to spend time in the evening, because for me it's 10 to 12 hours time zone difference. And then I also approached three or four universities in UK. And then out of three or four, I got admission in two. And while the other two were still waiting, so I decided out of those two universities, one, my current university, which is the University of Bath. And another reason for decision, anyone, if you want to go ahead with that one, you need to have a overall university ranking, how the university's ranking. I don't know what it does it matter or not, but this is what I kept in my mind while doing the research. Then job placement record, course structure, the location, the geography, and the fee structure. So these were some of the common factors, and for me, the most important was the course structure. One is structure and the content, what type of content they're offering you. And I want to just share with you the course structure mean. It was a sequential, like in a one point of time you are going with one course, and then once you'll finish it, then you'll go to the second and third. So rather than opting for 2 or 3 subjects at a time, so this was a good. Another university, I think University of London, was giving like 6 months of semester, and then you need to pick up one course or 3 course parallel, and then you can go ahead with that. And so it's vital to consider your objectives, and the areas you wish to target post degree. I mean, this is not for me a first post degree, because I was already having a master in computer sciences, but with the latest technologies, and and the important and how will it benefit your career or your personal training, what you can say is. So these are the factors. And then the online learning experience, as due to pandemic and COVID-19, the demand for online courses and degrees is now very, very well understood. But at that time it was a new for me. So as an online student for MSc program, I have been introduced to a new learning and methodology that differs from traditional face-to-face instruction. And it took me a little bit time to understand and adopt to it. And then important is, while you do this online learning with any university, the navigating the challenges of these programs is maintaining a self discipline. How you will make sure that you are aligned to the course, because staying on the track with the courses and completing them is challenging. And then if you want to study in depth and grasping the material beyond just checking off completion boxes is not your target. That is easy, that you just go ahead with the online course and then you just finish it. And but it's important that you go ahead in depth to the course. And another important area was that, okay, how you are interacting on the forums, that was also important, that you get understanding from your peers, colleagues. And another area was that, okay, you get the same peer group that who are also in a professional life, and that's you share the same ideas, same type of challenges. They are working in different organizations, so they can become your peer groups. So I think that was another important factor while deciding your university program. Now, coming back to, I think the most important challenge is balancing your professional and personal life. This is a journey of juggling a professional career, pursuing a higher degree, and maintaining a personal life is not less than walking a tight rope, I can say. The constant switch between work, studies, and family responsibilities was often very, very overwhelming. And there were, I think, several, or I can say countless a situation when I felt like dropping out of the program, and I thought, okay, let me get a pause. And then even within your peer group, if someone is also taking a study break, that also gives you another indication. I can go ahead. So that's but apart from all these, you need to maintain your family, your children, spending time with them. So my days were usually, typically packed. So in the evening or night, I was spending almost every day a 1.5 hour. And then on the weekend, especially out of 2 weekends, one week, and was dedicated to this one. It sometime I usually was also ignoring it, but important is that your family need to be with you for such programs. So rather than you spending time for relaxation and meeting friends, now primarily you're dedicated to studying. or a late night study sessions and the constant pressure to excel at work. That's all you need to manage it. That's how I was also going through it. Now, if we talk about a silver lining for achieving this one, I think that's the support of your family. So if you're living in a arranged, in a wider family with your parents, then definitely the whole family need to support you. Or if you're married and then you like a professional guy like me with having kids and wife, then your wife is very very important, and that could be, we can say, the constantly can encourage you to keep doing it. And that's where I got benefit from her. She often reminded me of why I started this course in the first place. You need to make sure that is was what was the idea and the objective. And that's what, her support extended beyond words. And she took on additional responsibilities at home to provide me with the space and time focus on my studies. She understood when I had to decline some, social gatherings, I can say, to meet some project deadlines or submission of coursework, and also taking care of kids. So that's paramount of the entire study program. Now, definitely, in this journey, I've learned that, pursuing a high degree while working full time and managing family responsibilities is incredibly challenging. Now, you need to have a right support at place. And I think before concluding this session, and I just wanted to leave some of the action items for you. Some of professional people like me, they also think, okay, how much technical these degrees are, like MSc in computer science or blockchain. I don't know if there is a blockchain AI degree, but especially the data science and the AI or machine learning, there you need to be technical. And if you ask me my experience, I had to learn in first courses the math, the statistics. So the Khan Academy was blessing for me, and then Python was also new for me. So spending time on Python, initially I thought to ignore it, and I was ignoring it, I think, the first course. But then I realized that there is no way that I can complete without, even if I cannot be master in Python, but I need to be in a level that where I can work on it. And as we know, all the machine learning is based on Python or R, but primarily is Python. So we need to learn that one. So there's a balance between tech work and the theory coursework, but you need to have some degree, some level of technical skills to pass this course. And if I summarize for this session, and I know it was a quite long time that I was not able to record my podcast, and that's another reason, I was not able to balance it. So last 6 months I was not able to write any my blog or article, which I was doing it from last 10-12 years, and that was the pressure I was having on due to my dissertation. My supervisor was very supportive. He spent a lot of time with me. The university gave a lot of feedback and hand holding to achieve this one. So to summarize it, if you are looking to go ahead with any degree program while you're working, or maybe you wanna have full time, it's worth to explore, and it gives you a new horizon to learn and practice it. And to summarize, the journey of a working professional back to school is a thoughtful and challenging process. However, learning, growth, and career advancements rewards the trip worthwhile. That's I can say. And another important point I want to mention is that's I did finish my dissertation submission in March. Now I'm in May, end of May, and it took me 1.5 month, 2 month approximately, to come back and start this first session. And that's, I think, we all know a procrastination, and it reminded me the very famous TED talk, Inside the Mind of a Master Procrastinator. And I think that's time to time I need to keep coming back to listen this one. And that's what I did 2 days back. And from Tim Urban, Inside the Mind of a Master Procrastinator. And that pushed me again back to where I was doing it last 6 years with the open tech talks.tv. And now I know the advancements in chat, GPT, AI, and all that. We will continue in the coming sessions. So thank you so much for listening and being part of this wider community who is there to help each other, and have a wonderful and great life ahead.
Thanks for listening to the OTech Talks podcast, and be part of Tech Talks at otechtalks.tv. It's a turf to share ideas, insights, and innovations.